I see a lot of vintage Christmas ornaments. Oh, whoa. Welcome to episode 50. In this episode, we're going to do another What's Sold on the Weekends video. But first, I'd like to thank everybody that's taken the time to watch our videos. It's been a learning curve for us. We've been doing the job buying and selling all the vintage stuff, but we had to learn all the stuff that goes along with doing YouTube videos, from getting comfortable being on camera to doing the editing and all that. But somehow we've made it to video number 50. And it's getting a little easier, honestly. Feeling a little more comfortable on camera, getting better at editing. I'm still working on my thumbnail game. My thumbnail game is not very good. But anyway, I just want to take the time to thank everybody for watching and spending time with us. But now let's get into it and show you what sold for the weekend. All right. Friday actually was a pretty slow day all around for us. I was honestly kind of being like, oh no, here we go again. We're going to have another slow weekend. But I always tell you guys to not get caught up in small sample sizes. Although I find myself getting caught up in it sometimes too. That's just human nature, I guess. But we only sold two things on Friday for not a lot of money. The first thing was and I've already shipped these things, so I don't have them here to show you. But I'll throw the sold comp up so you can see what the items were. But the first thing was a vintage 1981 Here's Boomer dog with slipper toy figure from Paramount Pictures. We sold that for $12. It was little, it was like that big. But it was from 1981. And that sold for $12. And then we sold a vintage 1950s mid-century ideal Mr. Mix-It Kids Drink Mixer for $25. I also shipped that Friday morning. So we only sold $37 worth of stuff on Friday. So not a good Friday, to be honest with you. One of the worst days we've had in weeks. But then we turned around and moved into Saturday and Sunday, and we had a really good Saturday and Sunday. So we ended up having a good weekend. I think we sold what was our total sold here? Looks like we sold 22 items, so that's right about our average on the weekend sales. We were a little low the last time I did a weekend solds video. I think we sold 16 or 17 items that week, but now we're back to like where we kind of average out on the weekends. But we had a really big Sunday. It was kind of a wild ride. We were sitting here working. We stayed home Sunday. We didn't do much. We were doing listings. We actually did 20 listings yesterday, but we kept motivated because we just kept selling stuff. We had a really big Sunday, but we're going to get into it and show you all the stuff that we got and what sold. Let's start down here. Okay, now let's get into what sold on Saturday and Sunday. The first thing that sold were these set of 4 Juliska white 24 karat gold Anthus dessert salad plates. ACANTHUS. These actually came from that Elks Lodge sale we went to in one of our last videos. You saw that. We picked these up. It was part of that whole $256 we spent. But we already sold 4 plates for $120, so that puts us doing really good on that haul just by selling this one thing here. But these sold for $120, which is pretty crazy for 4 plates. Next, we sold this. Found it down here. I got all my stuff pulled. Well, I thought I had all my stuff pulled. Here. This vintage jadeite scalloped egg sundae dish. We sold this for $14.99. Next, we sold a vintage 1948 pair of Rookwood Pottery 6509 matte rose pink butterfly vases. I don't know if you can see on there really good, but these are butterfly vases. The set, these sold for $100. Next, we sold Hannah Anderson red floral girl's dress. This sold for $16.14. It's a random number. It must have been a percentage off. Next, we sold Y2K Women's Citizen of Humanity Kelly Stretch low-rise boot cut jeans. These sold for $21.99. Next, we sold, from our video where you saw Amy got all of those Barbies, we sold the new in the box 2003 Barbie Happy Family Neighborhood Alan and Ryan birthday set. This sold for $169.99. Alan and Ryan. Finally starting to move some of these Barbies, which is good. Next, we sold this Royal Dalton figurine Rose, made in England, vintage, for $18.69. I had to turn around backwards. $18.69. And next, this, I showed this. We had a set of these. I listed them, and like the next day, one of them sold. And I said in the solds videos, like these aren't, the other one's not going to be around very long. It sold. This is the vintage Pyrex 1.5 pint mixing bowl, orange polka dots, number 401. We sold this for $55.24. I knew that wouldn't be around for very long. Next, now these, we almost didn't list these. And then we started looking into it because this was in a box that we had that had some vintage Care Bear stuff in it. So at first we thought they were Care Bear toys, but as we looked through it, ended up being a replacement parts to a vintage 1974 Hasbro Weebles Winnie the Pooh Honey Tree set. So we listed these, sold these for $15.50. Here now. Every time I do one of these sold videos, I feel like we sell something that was brass. But here's another brass animal figurine. We sold this rooster, fighting rooster, brass, made in Japan, for $34.99. I'm going to put this over here so I have a little more room. Next is a pair of Michael Kors leather flat shoes, brown and gold embellished stars. See them pretty good there. Got the Michael Kors on the bottom. These do not look like they were worn at all, or there would be scuffs on the bottom. So these for $28.50. Next, now this is another one of these. We're still selling this. We bought all that McCoy pottery when we did that house clean out. It ended up being, I think it was 160 or 180 pieces. We sold a lot of it, but we still have a decent amount left. This is a early 1940s McCoy pottery 2-handle white vase, 9 3/8 inches tall. We sold this for $45 even. You can see it says the McCoy on the bottom. Yeah, we just sold a lot of just different stuff over the weekend. Trying not to break anything because I've got to get all this packaging shipped out of here today. It's Monday morning. Right now it's 11 a.m. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to dive right into packaging. But next, we sold this set of 2 wooden painted red carved goose figures, or ducks. I guess it could be ducks. These are 10 inches tall. We sold this pair for $21. Okay, now next, this is interesting. This sold, I listed this Friday, and it sold yesterday, so it was only around for not even quite 2 days. But this is a vintage, new Hermes silk scarf. Hermes, I think I'm saying that right. H-E-R-M-E-S, Hermes. 36 by 36. This is a really good brand here. We might actually took a little low of a price on this, but we sold this for $170. There were some solds that were in the $200 to $300 range. But we were kind of rolling yesterday, and we were selling stuff. We were feeling good. We were getting listings done. We were like, you know what, just take it and keep it moving. That means we never stored it. It was down here because I listed it Friday, and it never made it up to the eBay room, and it's going to go out the door. So I like when that happens. We don't have to store stuff. All right, next, we sold this vintage 1990s UNC Tar Heel zip-up starter jacket. It's more like a windbreaker. It's kind of thin. You see, it's got the UNC symbol on it here. It's in pretty good shape. Actually, it's in really good shape. I don't see any staining or tears or anything on it. We sold this for $79.99. Next, this is another cool one. I don't know, this is a video I did probably over a year ago at this point, but we ended up getting a lot of vintage Barbie clothes. I mean, it was probably 100 or more outfits. But this is one of the 1960s vintage Barbie outfits, Sweet Dreams, number 973. This sold for $70. Next. It's funny, also, and from the house clean out, I think it might have been the last video I did of stuff from the house clean out. There was a shoebox, and I opened it up, and there was just all this aquarium stuff in it. And I'm like, what the heck is all of this? But it turns out this vintage aquarium stuff. It's not high dollar items, but I think every piece except for one has sold so far. And this is the aquarium Greek Roman columns, made in Japan, 7 inches tall. This sold for $16. Like I said, I think at this point we sold almost every one of those vintage aquarium pieces. Next, we have another one of these. Cruel, however you say that. I always pronounce stuff wrong, so I'm sure people laugh at me for saying stuff wrong. But vintage 1974 sugar pumpkin seeds, 5 cents, embroidered wall hanging art. We had 2 of these. One was pickles and one was the pumpkin seeds. The pickle one already sold. Now this is the second one, and we sold this one for $34.99. Okay, we also sold this little vintage refrigerator dish. It's Pyrex refrigerator dish with the lid. It's in actually really good shape considering how old it is. It doesn't have a lot of scuffs, and it has the lid with it. We sold this for $16.99. Next we have, oh yeah, this also I listed Friday and it already sold. But these, I'm surprised. I think there's still a couple we have to list, and there's 1 or 2 that haven't sold yet. But these went out the door pretty fast. This is another one of those vintage lucite purses. Gilly Originals, New York, amber brown lucite purse, 2 compartments. This one had a little bit of damage, or we would have, not really damage, it's just missing the mirror. Or we would have sold this for more, but we sold this for $49.99. Like I said, I listed that Friday, so that wasn't around 2 days. And let me see. Okay, I believe that's all of that. We also sold, hold on. Let me see here. We had this eggnog set up on our eBay store, but Amy has 2 friends that are into vintage that had pieces of this set. So one of them wanted to buy the bowl for $20. So we sold that, took it down off eBay, and we're going to sell that locally to one of her friends. And the other friend wanted the 5 mugs for $25. So that's another $45 there, but that's locally. sold. So I don't have to ship that. I just got to get that dropped off or picked up. And now we'll see. How many items did I say that was sold? 1, 2. So that's 24 items sold for a total of, let me look, I went ahead and added up all the eBay stuff. All the eBay stuff sold for $1,136.99. So like I said, that's a pretty good weekend, especially considering how bad Friday was. We only sold $37 on Friday, and then you add 45 more to that. So the total from the weekend sold, including the stuff that's sold locally here, was $1,181.99. Which every weekend could be like that. But like I said, the ebbs and flows. Once again, it goes back to that whole thing of saying don't get too caught up in the small sample sizes. Just like you don't want to get too caught up in a bad weekend, week, month, whatever. You don't want to get too crazy with it on the other side either, because it's a small sample size. We had a really good weekend. Every weekend's not like that. It's probably going to end up closer in the middle between the two most weekends. But anyway, that's what sold. And we got another video I'm working on. Amy went to an estate sale and bought a lot of stuff on Saturday. We got the footage from the estate sale, but I still have to do the haul part, so that'll be the next video I'm working on. I may get to that later today. It depends on how long it takes me to pack and ship all of this stuff, but if not, we'll get it up soon. But anyway, that's it. As always, visit our store at coastalreselltherapy.com. The link will be posted in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.